Hello, pupils, and welcome to another exciting time on Scratch with Mr. Harry. Today we'll be creating a Scratch game called Dodgeball. The aim of this game is to enable the sprite Dodgeball while earning points. What do we need for this game? We need a sprite, we need different kinds of sprites, a ball sprite, a card sprite, a backdrop, and a life. So let's jump right in. So the first thing we want to do is to get a backdrop for this game. So you go to backdrop and you choose a backdrop of your choice. For this game, I'll choose blue sky. Kind of have a feel on this. So I've already reduced the sprites from 100 to 50 here from the sides. Okay. So let's start coding. To start the coding, like we already know, we'll go to our event blocks and get when click. What would the sprites do? Okay. We can also feel free to change the name of our sprite. Here it is sprite1, so I can change that to Benny just to make it look nice. The next thing I want to do is to rotate the sprites so that it goes left and right. So to do that, we'll go to motion block. We'll search for rotate style. So rotate style, where is our rotate style? Yeah, it's here. So click on rotate style and we drag it here. So you can see here, when you click on this arrow, we have rotate left, right, don't rotate, allow all. So we'll just go ahead with rotate left and right so that our sprite will be able to move left and right. So for this game, we'll be requiring a if block and forever loop. So we'll click on control, then click on our forever loop, drag and drop. Now we'll start coding. We will also require our if then loop inside our forever loop. Now, what else do we need? We'll need a key sprite so that when a key code, whenever you click, the sprite does something, moves to the left or right. So for that, we'll go to sensing and we'll drag and drop our key space here into this space. Okay. After that, we click on this arrow, then we choose left. Choose left first before right. So you can see our sprite is already facing left. So that's what this code does for us. The next thing is to choose a point in direction. Where can we get a point in direction? Who can tell us? Let's go to motion block. Point in direction, yeah. So we drag and drop here. So point in direction is 90, but we will need to change this to minus 90 so that our sprites will be facing the left side. And how many times do we need our sprites to move? Let's say 10 times. The sprite is going to move 10 times. Okay. So if you go to costume here, we'll discover that we have different costume here for the sprites. So we want to tell the sprite to change costume whenever the sprite is moving rather than running. So for that, we'll go over to where looks and get next costume. Okay, so we'll drag and drop here. For this code, we have been able to code the functionalities for the left arrow of the sprite. So we want to do the same for the right side so that when you click your left arrow, it moves to the left 10 times. When you click your right arrow, it moves to the right 10 times. So the next thing we want to do is to duplicate this code here. Okay, duplicate this code here and snap it here. So now we will change this key press arrow to right, and we will change this point in direction to 90 so that it faces right. Okay, and our next costume is good. So this is perfect for this sprite. So once we move left, it goes. Once it goes move right, it goes, just like that. Okay, so the next thing we want to code now is the ball. So we will now choose another sprite, which is a ball sprite. Okay, so for me, you can choose any of the ball. You can choose this, but this makes sense for us. So once you click on this sprite, it gets added here. Okay, now for this sprite, we will start a different coding. So we want to code this sprite in such a way that it drops to the top this way and drops down. Okay, so that it drops continuously. So for that, we will begin a fresh code. So to begin a fresh code, we will always go to our event block, drag and drop. Okay, so the next we want to do is to set our y-axis. Y-axis is the vertical axis, y-axis is the horizontal axis. So whenever we are talking of y, we're talking of vertical. Okay, so we will search for set y-axis. So where are we going to get set y-axis? So we'll go to motion block and it is here. So we'll get this and set y-axis to, since it is a straight line, so it's going to be 180. Okay, if you put 360, it's going to rotate. So this is 180. So it goes all the way top. All right, so we will get our control loop and get our forever loop, drag and drop here and snap it in. So now we want this to drop to the bottom, and to do that we will change the y-axis again. So we'll go to our motion and get y-axis. Where is y-axis? And get our y-axis. So change y-axis here. So we'll change y-axis to, let's say, -5, so that the ball drops all the way down. Okay, but now guess what? When it drops here, we need the ball to repeatedly drop from up to bottom. So for that, we will get another control block. That's the if then. Okay, so we'll snap that in here. After that is done, we will now say y-axis equals to, so because we are working on a vertical, which is a y-axis, so we will set y-axis. All right, so where is y-axis? Yeah, this is y-axis. So y-axis equals to, but to do that, first we will need to get our operator here. So let's say get this operator equal to, snap it here, then get this y-axis, okay, equal to what? So to snap it down below the line, we will always go with negative. Let's say negative 170. Okay, so the ball drops down all the way, okay, right. So now we will reset this so that the ball keeps flowing from top to bottom. The ball keep flowing from top to bottom. So what we'll do is we will set y-axis to 180. So we'll repeat this so that it repeats itself again. Okay, so set y-axis to 180. You can also duplicate this. Okay, right. This thing is lagging, so you can come here and set y-axis. So when you click here, so it goes all the way down, but this actually this is not actually what we want here. So now this is 170 here. Okay, to set x-axis now here at this bottom, that was, so we will go to operator and get pick random. So once we click here, we want to set x-axis to say minus 230 to 230. So this will make our code to repeatedly drop. Okay, so instead of stopping all the way down, our code will repeatedly make the ball to drop. Okay, so it will be fun to have a sound also attached to this, so that whenever it drops, we have a pop kind of sound. So for that, we'll go to sound and click on pop here. So whenever it drops, it gives a kind of fulfilling sound. Pop, pop. So I think you can pause the video and try to do these particular steps that we have done so far. For this, we will say this to be a part one. Let this be a part one. So yeah, try it out. Let's see how far we can go before we complete the remaining variable parts, which is to create the lives, so that whenever the sprite dodges a ball, maybe to the left or to the right, you see, can dodge this ball just like that. So the ball now comes from all kinds of directions instead of one direction. Okay, the ball comes from everywhere. So whenever you dodge, you get a life and you score points. Okay, so yeah, try it out and let's see how good you can get while practicing this. The part two, I will teach you how to create those variables and yeah, make live and code them as well. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate you for viewing, and have fun while practicing. Bye bye.